Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Kraken Gaming, and we're back 2023 AFL predictions. Now, you may be thinking, I haven't uploaded a video in a while. Is the channel dead? Probably. It doesn't matter. One-off predictions. We're just going to get straight into it, really. Not much else to say. AFL draft has come around. Pretty good draft. No real surprises. Yeah, let's just see. I'm finding this year to be pretty hard to predict. Previous years, it's been sort of fairly simple, but between 6 and 13, it really could go any way. So just remember, this is my predictions. This isn't your predictions. If I'm wrong, that's fine. Everyone will have a different opinion about it, really. So we're going to do 18 through to 1, Premiership, Brownlow, Coleman, and Rising Star. That's the predictions for today. Let's get straight into it. So in 18th spot, we've got the GWS Giants. Really only because I think everyone above them would be better. The Giants, they've lost a lot of talent. I don't know, they're not that good really. Cadman, he looks to be a pretty good player. I don't know much about him, but yeah, he'll be fine. It'll be all good. GWS 18th, we'll go with that. In 17th, we've got the West Coast Eagles, and they've spent a few good years down at the bottom, and they're probably going to stay there for a bit longer still. Their draft picks were really average, and yeah, they're just old, all retiring. Not a good year to be an Eagles supporter. So I'm sorry for Kobe Bergiel, homeboy going in there. Should be good. All right, 16th, we got the North Melbourne Kangaroos. Now, Alistair Clarkson. Yeah, if he doesn't do something, honestly, what's the point of picking him up, really? They've actually got a good list. They do. And you may think that's a ridiculous thing to say, but it's true. They do have a good list. I think they can probably snare out about 8 wins for the year. That'd be a real good upgrade for them. They've got some good players too. Wardlaw. That's all I know, really. I haven't actually followed the draft much at all this year, to be fair, and I might show a bit in this prediction video. 15th, we've got the Adelaide Crows. This is where it gets tough. Everything from above here is just, it could go either way. So Adelaide are really only here just because I think everyone above them will be better. Tex will retire. Sam Berry, I reckon he could snare All-Australian squad if he plays well. So lock that in. Sam Berry, All-Australian squad. That's a lock. Probably not. Anyway. 14th, we've got the St Kilda Saints. Now, I've heard that Max King's got a shoulder injury. That's kind of annoying. He could win the Coleman medal this coming year. I haven't predicted him for it, but he could. So yeah, the Saints are really hard, a tough team to gauge, I guess you could say. But very easily, they could either be 8th and make the finals, or they could be 14th and Brett Ratten could get sacked. That's the difference really with that. Now 13th, we've got the Gold Coast Suns. Ben King, a huge addition, 50 goals out of him at least. Anything less would be a disappointment year. Matt Rowell is really average. I've got to say it. You know, I used to really rate Matt Rowell. His first 4 games of his career were some of the best games anyone had played in the 2020 season. But he's just not that good. So I'm going to put the Gold Coast Suns 13th. We'll go with that. Now 12th, we've got the Hawthorn Hawks. Now, I don't know. Hawthorn are another tough team to gauge. They very easily could be 10th with the right sort of coaching. But with this racism scandal, second year coach, you know, after looking at Essendon, seeing how well they did in their first year, seeing how well Hawthorn respectively did in their first year, the second year slump could really kick in. So yeah, I'm thinking 12th for them. 11th, we have the Port Adelaide Power. The Power, once again, being an interstate team, they're probably hard to gauge as well, but I have a good feeling about them. I reckon they're a chance to push for the top 8. But aging list, Travis Boak, I know he won't retire, but he could. If he has a major injury, he probably could retire. Yeah, so Port Adelaide, 11th. The Richmond Tigers in 10th. This may shock a few people. The amount of inclusions that Richmond have brought into the side is massive. Taranto, I believe, won their time trial the other day. So Richmond have got a lot of good list potential. I don't know. I don't think they can capitalise on it. With their ageing list, they haven't really brought in much youth, truth be told. And yeah, with their ageing list, injuries are probably going to be common. I can't see Dusty playing beyond this year. I know he would want to, but he's just not the same player he was. And it's really disappointing for the league because he was a really good player. But yeah, Richmond 10th, they'll miss the finals. Questions will start to be asked about Hardwick, I think. And yeah, that's my big claim for Richmond. And 9th, I have my very own Essendon Bombers. Gee, what a shambles of a club, honestly. Essendon, if you're watching this, what are you doing? You hire a CEO that was he looks like a good bloke. You find out that he's a little bit wrong, so you sack him. Okay, that's fine. I respect you for that. And then, with your coaching decisions, in the last half of the year, Ben Rutten, I thought he coached pretty well. We had some good wins together. Maybe they were fluke wins, but they were wins nonetheless. And you still go and sack him anyway. It was a really messy process. Half the board gone. Anyway, 9th would be a pass mark, I think. We'd realistically be 12th. Very easily 16th. If we make finals, that's a bonus, but I can't see it happening. I really hope that Brad Scott can do something good for the team, because if Harry Jones has another rubbish year, I feel like he could be a chance to be delisted. I don't know much about our draftees, to be fair, but I imagine they'll play well, so I hope they play well. Gee. Anyway, 8th, the Western Bulldogs. Now, the Bulldogs are another tough team to gauge. They've got a list that's constantly sort of changing. Josh Dunkley out. That's a huge out. Best and fairest winner, of course. Yeah, so I'm probably just going to put them 8th. The top 8 could easily all be completely different. It's sort of just the teams I think that will be in the top 8, but they could be really anywhere around there. So 7th, we've got the Melbourne Demons, and for really a pure reason of losing Luke Jackson, I believe, is a really bad thing for that club. He was the future of that club. Premiership player, all 22 under 22. He was the future of the club, the face of the club for the future, and now he's gone. I don't see how they can they don't have anyone to build around. They've got Petrarca and Oliver, but Oliver, they're halfway through their careers at this point. It's too late to build around them. You've already got the good build with Viney and the rest, and brought in Hunter, but they're aging. Gorn, he will start to regress. It's just a fact. He's 208 centimetres. He's 30 odd years old. It's just a fact he will be worse as years go by. That was the whole point of having Jackson. So you could have him forward, rest him forward, and it would be okay, but you got rid of him. And, yes, you've got Grundy now. I actually forgot about Grundy until just then. But anyway, so they're anywhere between 3rd and 7th, I would say, probably. 6th, we've got the Sydney Swans. Buddy will retire. That's a fact. A guarantee. Buddy was a really average player in the second half of the year, I thought. He just didn't contribute. In that preliminary final, he did nothing at all. He was heckled around the grand final. I forget they made the grand final. Generally speaking, not many teams make the finals or even the grand final the year after they made the grand final and get belted in it, like Sydney. So really, I'm going to say Sydney will probably be 10th. I've tipped them 6th. They won't be there. It's a prediction. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. Now, 5th, we've got Carlton. Carlton should have been in the top 8. They were the better side over the Bulldogs, I think, to be in the top 8. That's a fact. Carlton were really good all year. They were really consistent. It was the best I've seen Carlton play in my lifetime that I can remember. Not since 2013. They should be 5th. If they play well, if they have no injuries, if Cripps has another backup year, they will easily be 5th. I will just... Sure. Now, 4th, I've got Collingwood. I really hate to say Collingwood in 4th. I was happy those couple of years where they were just out of the top 8. But Collingwood, as annoying as Jake Innovan is, he is a good player. He's good at what he does. Pendlebury will probably retire. He probably step down from captaincy. I don't know. Collingwood 4th, let's say that. Now, Fremantle, I've gotten 3rd. Now, Fremantle have brought in a heap of talent. They look to be the team for the future, I think. If Justin Longmuir coaches them well, which I think he will, he's a pretty good coach, I reckon they have the opportunity to win at least 2 finals and hopefully, make the grand final, I think. That's what I think. Maybe, I don't know. Now, Geelong, I've got 2nd. I've been saying for years, they're going to drop down. But now I'm backing them in. Because after winning the premiership, I can't see them losing that fire. Yes, they've lost Joel Selwood, who is a token player for the club. But they've still got a lot of other good players. Hawkins will retire, which is a shame, but they have Jeremy Cameron, and he can take the full front of it. He can be the full forward. Playing centre half forward at the moment, he can be the full forward. That's my prediction for them, second place. Now, first I have the Brisbane Lions. Will Ashcroft, Dunkley, Gunston, they have brought in an absolute stack of talent. They have got depth across all lines of the field. I don't see how they can't be first. They are generally one of the best home and away teams. I don't think they'll even make the prelim. So, yeah, I reckon they'll be first and they'll just flunk it, really. That's generally what Brisbane do. So for the premiership, I've got either Freo or Geelong. So I'm going to say it's a Fremantle or Geelong grand final. I can't split them for that. It'll be really close either way. It'll be a great contest. This looks to be one of the most even years coming up. So if it's anything, even if it's half as good as 2022, up until that final series, it was really good. I'm going to say that. Brownlow, I've got Clayton Oliver. He's been stitched up a few times, but I feel like Petrarca will probably play forward a bit more. I don't know why. I've just got an inkling. So I feel like Clayton Oliver will get more of the bulk of the midfield. He'll be averaging 40 a game, I imagine. So I'm going to lock him, Clayton Oliver, for the Brownlow medal. For the Coleman medal, I've got Jeremy Cameron. Coleman medals are hard one to predict. You don't know who's going to kick the goals. It could be different every year. But Jeremy Cameron, I think, he's built on last year. Hawkins will have less, so that means he'll be able to kick more goals. They kicked 50-odd between them this year. I reckon I can expect 75, 80 out of him this year. He's the type of player that could, if he had to, kick that many goals. And for the rising star, I've got a safe bet in Will Ashcroft. Ashcroft is easily the best player in the draft. He will get games, so I can't see why he wouldn't win it. So there you go, guys. That's my predictions for 2023. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see here. And maybe, if you get enough people watching, maybe I'll do some more football content. You never know. Please get the word around. Tell your friends. Watch the videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.